Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. Oh gosh, I totally did part 2 of Temperance, and then I ended up incidentally erasing it. But when I went back to part 1, I realized a lot of part 1 actually had some of the things that I had said in part 2. Again, temperance is it's one of the 7 virtues of Christianity, and it's designed to offset the 7 deadly sins, and gluttony in particular. And I've been gluttonous many, many times in my life, like seriously. And what I know about gluttony is the same as any of the things that go against God's will for me. It's that I punish myself through that action. You know, when I eat to the point of wanting to throw up, to the point of being in physical pain, eating myself out of house and home in terms of misspending monies, the joke's on me. You know, the gluttony is, God wants me to not be gluttonous because it harms me and I'm his child, right? So I was seeing, and I hope you'll take the moment to look at, Temperance Part 1, which I'll include in the description of this video, and I'll also reference the article that I'm looking at, which is definitely in a man's group because it's called a manly virtue. It's a human virtue. All of this is directed at a man, but to be fair, we have women's groups, and we have many articles that are for women only, and so this obviously was for men. But I'm going to just briefly review it, and then I just want to talk about the important reasons why it is necessary to even consider practicing temperance in our life. So this says that temperance is one of the 7 main virtues that opposes the 7 deadly sins. It is the opposite of gluttony and can be best described as moderation or practicing self-control. It may be defined as a righteous habit, which makes a man govern his natural appetite for pleasures of the senses. And it goes on to say, how this virtue is seen as manly in nature is obvious to most. The results often lie in how people perceive us as men and having manliness characteristics. If we have a strong temperance to never-ending temptations that present themselves, those results will be seen by others. So again, it's just human. How can you show your steadfast strength in refraining from your every whim? And people will notice that. They'll be like, wow, that person is really disciplined, which is a form of practicing temperance, right? Anyway, when I was sort of listening to that first video, I had gone over many of the practices of the virtue of temperance. One was to analyze your life and be specific. So choose like one thing in your life that you really want to evaluate. Analyze the area where you lack self-control. What is it that you need to change? Set goals that you can easily accomplish so that you can build upon them and actually feel successful, and from that you'll get momentum. Stay accountable. So actually be truthful, because it's easy to receive praise and admiration from people, but inside the devil is giggling because he knows that you're a lying fool and you're hating yourself for it. Make sure that what you're presenting to the world matches what you know to be your truth, right? Review your progress regularly with a confidant. Deny yourself. Actually say no. Parent yourself and say no. I don't get everything I want every moment. Don't remove your desire from your life. So if you don't want to give things away, if you don't want to give them away, don't remove your desire from your life. Oh, I'm just going quickly through what I think I already talked about in the very first one. So this is referencing one of the directives. So let me go back one. So in deny yourself, it says, self-discipline and self-control is about denying yourself your temptations. If you have things around that tempt you, like junk food, cigarettes, the wrong people, then give them away or sell them immediately and have fun doing it. It's only going to make you stronger. But number 7 says, don't remove your desire from your life. If you don't want to give them away or sell them, you may want to actually exploit them. If you have a chocolate addiction, you may want to put that bowl of M&Ms right in front of your face and get strength from denying yourself of that. I tried that one time with ice cream in my freezer. Let's just say the ice cream won. I do not recommend it. Number 8 was don't punish yourself for slipping up, which is just so common, but also can be ridiculous because number 8 says, you don't want to beat yourself up for what is inevitable. You will slip at some point. It's not a matter of if, but when. But some people are comfortable slipping again and again and again, right? I have no self-discipline. I have no ability to abstain. I'll never be. And that's their gig. It gets tiresome. Number 9, comparing to others is a waste of time. I appreciate that. You're on your own road. Your competition needs to be among yourself, with yourself, for yourself. And then number 10, don't get carried away. Newbies always get really crazy. Whether they're a new Christian, whether they're a new vegan, whether they're new, whatever it is, they take everything to heart and they just get so, completely engaged in every single rule and exactly how to do it, to their detriment at times, and also to the point of excluding others who aren't on that path, like family and friends. It can be a problem. And I appreciate what this guy said at the end. He said that his father had told him that too much of anything is not good for you. And then he tried to contradict him by saying, what do you mean? Is too much love bad? Is too much happiness bad? Is too much family bad? Is too much, all the little things, like a bratty kid. But he said the more he thought about it, his dad was right. Because though those things are wonderful, if not taken care of, they have an ugly side as well. And finally, he said his favorite thing is the phrase, everything in moderation, including moderation. I love that. All right, so I think I touched on a lot of those in the first one. But what I want to go over is this one, the reasons why we should even practice this virtue. So number 1 is that you live longer. Without the constant abuse of gluttonous activity on our bodies, such as overeating, oversmoking, overdrinking, overwhatevering, we stand a much better chance to grow old gracefully and live much longer. Of course, any vice we have in our life should be done in moderation, if at all. If you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, you can't moderately participate in those activities. Sorry, no. But this goes for any activity, traditional vice, or even something less apparent like a workaholic, who also needs to show temperance to know when to relax or to play. You have better health. Being overweight and sick all the time and using too much medication and the like can be viewed as results of a gluttonous activity. Moderation and temperance towards eating and other temptations we are faced with every day may lead to much better health in your life. It could lead to better exercise, better sex, better mental stability, a better marriage, better family relationships, and so on. Having better health is also much better for your wallet. I so agree. I've misspent money a zillion times on, food and things that wasn't planned. Let alone, how about my clothing? XL, 2XL, 3XL cost way more than the regular sizes. So it's less expensive is number 3. It says showing moderation, self-control, and self-discipline and temperance all lead to a moral, frugal lifestyle. It gets very expensive if you have to go to the doctor, the chiropractor, the psychotherapist every other week to help fix one's addiction or overindulgences. Check out some empirical evidence from some of the experts, and some of them that they recommend is the simple dollar, the get rich slowly, and the frugal dad. Frugal dad tackles another very key aspect of practicing temperance, which is contentment. Having this is key to being able to say no when others who are faced with the same temptation says yes. I get that. I'm really pretty frugal. My husband wants everything, every single minute. He's sure it'll fix stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's a no. I'm good. Those are just things I don't need. So I'm blessed for that. But, it doesn't mean that when I'm not raging, I don't want to fill myself up, like physically fill myself up, which is that whole gluttony thing. Being fat, I've been there. Being full and miserable, literally in my stomach, I've been there. Yet everything remains constant outside of that fake reality that thinks it'll fix me. Come on. All right, the next one, seen as strong-willed. Most people associate a strong person with a strong will to do what is right, showing restraint, moderation, and contentment when all others are giving in to their temptations to splurge is a clear message to all around you that you are a person with convictions. You know what is best for you and your body and will not be deterred. Next one, modesty. A key trait in, it says manliness, but whatever, is to show modesty in one's success. The ability to control one's celebration in a victory or one's mourning in defeat shows wonderful temperance. Modesty is also a key virtue that we will explore at a later date. I guess this is like a group. This virtue can also be described as having great humility. I think it's okay to rejoice, but like for me, I always give it back to God. You know, I get super excited. It's funny, like people say, wow, that's a really pretty top or whatever. And when I was young, I used to say, no, it's not, like the whole thing. And now I just go, right? It is awesome, huh? Because I don't think it's me. I think it's a gift from God. I think that it's that life came up with it, that the artist made it, and that I'm just stoked that I came upon it. So it's not that I'm being conceited, it's that I'm rejoicing too in the find. But it's pretty funny. So the last one says, be a role model. If you don't or can't show restraint for yourself, then do it for others, especially your children. Kids are like sponges and will see you as the parent, as the way to do things. They see their parents as superheroes that will always show them the right way of doing things. And of course, you think of that as little children, but I assure you, those teens, those young adults, they're watching. You know, you think, they don't even talk to me anymore, they don't even pay attention to me, or they're in their own world, they're just with their friends. They are watching, judging, memorizing every single thing you say and do. Walk the high road. I'm not even kidding you. If you're not showing self-discipline and self-control when it comes to certain vices, how would you expect them to show it? If you don't have kids, then do it for the people who love you. They give their love unconditionally, but there's no better way to pay them back for their love than by being a good role model. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you don't control what you think, you can't control what you do. Simply, self-discipline enables you to think first and act afterwards. I love that. I love that. Whenever I act impulsively, it's because I didn't take a moment to actually think. I just acted. And self-discipline allows you to think and then act. I love that. Anyway, I'm going to include this in the description of the video. You know, temperance is just something that I came upon. It has such a huge history. Again, all of the saints practiced temperance, and much of the planet up until like the 1950s, pretty much. It was the norm and not the exception. Today, it has become rare, and it's something that I absolutely want to be in tune with on my walk towards finding balance. But it is 12:30 at night, and I still have a few more things to do, and I'm driving to Vegas tomorrow. So, how's that balance coming along? I'm getting there, people. Don't judge. Don't be judging. All right, like if you like, join us if you haven't. Subscribe. Let me know what you think about temperance. And until we talk again, know that I prayed for you at Mass and trust that you're blessed.